It's time to look at some of the best waiver wire pickups for this coming week in fantasy baseball. The theme today is redemption. I'm going to look at some players that have been cast aside by fantasy owners since last year and even by their own major league teams in some cases. But first, let's start with a rookie in Colorado, and this is sort of a post-hype sleeper. I've been on Nolan Jones for a couple of years, but injuries and struggles, and then being shipped from Cleveland to Colorado in the minors, that has kind of kept him back. And then, of course, Colorado just being themselves and not wanting to put their rookies up. Well, finally, he's got a chance, and he's making the most of it. Since coming up on May 26th, after going deep yet again on Saturday, he's hitting .348 with 3 home runs and 11 RBIs. But here's the thing. He's got 4 steals. He stole a base in 4 straight games. This is coming from a guy who's supposed to be more of a slugger, a corner infielder converted to a corner outfielder, someone who never had even more than 10 steals in a season in the minor leagues, where it's a lot easier to do that. I'm not sure where the speed outburst is coming from. I don't know that it'll last, but this is somebody who's obviously got the hit tool, got the power, and he plays in Colorado. What more could you ask for? His rostership rate has gone up a lot this past week, so if he's still out there in any of your leagues, grab him now before it is too late. On a similar note, corner outfielder who was a really hot draft pick last year, one of those sleepers a lot of people thought would just break out and have a huge season and just didn't. He flopped. Jesus Sanchez of the Marlins. After a promising 2021, he went out and just hit .214 with a .280 on base percentage, 13 home runs last season. Didn't pan out and was really not worth using. He really didn't get off to a great start this year either. It looked like it was just going to be more of the same. He may have turned a corner. Since June, he's got 3 home runs and 7 RBIs, and it's important to note that now he's batting cleanup every day. Not gonna lie, this is not the most exciting offense, but hey, he's got Luis Arias hitting in front of him. He's gonna have at least somebody on base a lot of the time, and he's getting the opportunity. He's finally got that confidence. He's got the power stroke. He's got the talent. So look, buy in a little bit and see if this turns into a rest of season breakout, not just a mini hot streak. Now, you want to talk about a hot streak for a power hitter? You remember Gary Sanchez? That's right, the Sanchez from the Bronx. Well, yeah, those days are over. Ever since leaving New York, losing his job because he just couldn't hit the ball anymore, and bounced around, went to the Twins, found his way to San Diego, and now has found regular playing time because Austin Nola is kind of doing like a Gary Sanchez, and he couldn't hit the ball either, except he never had that kind of power. So Sanchez has found himself as the regular catcher for the Padres, and he's on fire right now. Since May 31st, he's got 5 home runs. He just drove in another run that gives him 13 RBIs since that time, and he's hitting .273. That right there is the most impressive because, remember, this guy was struggling to even get to the 200 mark. Now, he is still striking out a bunch as usual. What's different this year is, well, he's feasting on the fastball like never before. But the struggle with the breaking ball is still real for him. He's never been able to do that, and he hasn't. That hasn't changed. So you've got to wonder, are they going to start to correct and just throw him a lot more breaking balls and not even challenge him with a fastball over the plate? So I see Sanchez as somebody to pick up if you need catching help right now, someone that you could play for the next couple of weeks maybe, but I worry that we're going to see the guy of old who's just going to start swinging and missing and eventually fall out of favor. But for now, until that happens, you've got to love the fact that he's hitting cleanup, sometimes 5th in that lineup. Just think, he's got Fernando Tatis, Juan Soto, Manny Machado ahead of him, so no wonder he's getting so many good pitches to hit. Oh, and Xander Bogaerts hitting behind him. He couldn't be in a better position, and he's at a prime position where you need someone who can give you production. So you're looking for a catcher on the wire, it's got to be him. You're looking for a shortstop or middle infielder. Well, you know what? How about Orlando Arcia, someone who was cast off from the Brewers a year ago? He was supposed to be their shortstop of the future, had some decent seasons with them, but after 1 week last year, they just let him go, and the Braves scooped him up. And all he's done this year is keep Vaughn Grissom down in the minors and prevent him from getting that shortstop job. Because Arcia has really earned it, not just because he's got the superior glove, we already know this. He's batting .324. This is not a player who has a lot of power, and he's really not stealing a lot of bases either, but he's getting on base and he's on a hot streak right now. He's got 8 hits and 6 RBIs just in the last 5 games. Arcia now starting to get scooped up. He's about half owned in most Yahoo leagues. He might still be out there. It depends on what type of league you play in. So go ahead and do a search and see if he's there. Again, you're not looking for the highest of ceilings here, but man, somebody who can help you with average and score some runs, not too bad. And then one more hitter I want to talk about who's the last of the cast-offs as well. Do you remember Willie Calhoun? He used to be a high-end prospect for the Texas Rangers. Well, he struggled through injuries, never quite came around, and now he's found his way to the New York Yankees, and he's found his way into everyday playing time. Of course, Aaron Judge hurt, so many injuries there in New York. Well, Calhoun isn't just playing, he's leading off in double headers or hitting third. I mean, this guy is either DH or right field, and he's got a prime spot in this lineup, which even with the injuries is still pretty good offense. His batting average says 244, but his expected batting average is 270, so we could see him climb in that regard. And we know he has power. Remember back in 2019, he hit 21 home runs in half a season's worth of at-bats before injury struck. In the Bronx, this is a good situation for him. Like I already said, the lineup spot is ideal. If that power does start to come around, you know what? He will start to slowly get added. This is more of a deep league consideration. I mean, he's basically owned nowhere in fantasy right now. But if you're looking for help, Calhoun has got the goods. On the pitching side, start with somebody who is sure to be added a ton just overnight, and that is AJ Smith-Shawver, the Atlanta Braves. This is a rookie, one of the youngest. We've seen so many super young players. How about 20 years old? I mean, he's really up because Max Fried out for a while. Kyle Wright has been out almost all season. We might not see these guys till the All-Star break. Who knows? Smith-Shawver's got his shot, and, well, he did pretty well for his first start. He went 5 1/3 innings, didn't give up any earned runs. I dug into him a little bit more. If you look at my latest rookie report, check that video out, talking about all the most recent rookie call-ups and prospects getting ready to debut. So bottom line is, yeah, go ahead and add him. There's always risk with young pitchers. I keep saying that because you need to realize that it is true. But so far, he's looking good. I only have a little bit concerned with the fact that he had 2 strikeouts in that last start. It's not somebody who's necessarily going to be a high-end option for Ks alone. Atlanta knows how to develop pitchers. He can help your ratio, so give him a shot. Back to the redemption theme. Jack Flaherty, well, the Cardinals haven't given up on him, but a lot of fantasy owners did, and you can't blame them. A couple of years ago, it looked like he might develop into an ace, one of the top options in all of fantasy, and then he just kind of fell apart, had a lot of injuries, sure, but then his control just completely eluded him. You could not trust him, and there was really no point even drafting him. Well, this year, he was really looked at as more of just of a dart throw, and again, didn't get off to a good start, but is he turning the corner? Because the last 3 starts, he's only given up a total of 2 earned runs. Along with that, he's got 18 strikeouts in that last 18 1/3 innings. Are we going to see the Flaherty of old? Is this finally his time to come back to fantasy glory? I won't go that far because, well, he did walk 5 batters in that last start, even though he wound up okay. Looking at that last 3-game stretch, it's amazing, but if you look at the couple of games before that, not so good, a lot of walks. You have to wonder if the command is really going to be stable over the course of the rest of the season. So I will say, proceed with caution here. You can put in a claim if you do need some help, especially in strikeouts, and you have a spot open in your rotation, but I wouldn't necessarily drop somebody who is a consistent option, even if he's not too exciting, because Flaherty, as much as he could do you some good when he's really good, he could also do some damage to your numbers when he's off. On the complete opposite end of the spectrum, if you're purely looking for floor, someone who could help your ERA and your whip, but won't do too much in strikeouts, but is pretty stable, it's Aaron Savale, the Cleveland Guardians. Missed a lot of time early this season, but he's been really good since he came back. He's only allowed more than 2 earned runs in a start once out of his 4 starts, blanking the opponents twice. The downside is he's just not striking batters out. He's never been a high strikeout pitcher. This year, it's only a 16% K rate with a kind of pathetic swinging strike rate of 7.2%. Not even double digits. Really, just more of an innings eater. Again, you want somebody who'll help your ratios a little bit. and you're good maybe already in strikeouts, just want somebody who's not as volatile as one of these rookies, okay, then you can try Savale out. He's experienced. He's on a squad that usually does a good job maintaining its pitching staff. I think that he'll start to stretch out a little bit more as he gets back. He hasn't really been going 6 or more innings on a regular basis. I think that'll happen. So if you're in a league that has quality starts as a category or maybe a points league, then he can be a little bit more useful than just traditional roto league. And then if you're looking for saves, well, how about a guy who was bounced from Minnesota to the Mets and now to Oakland? I want to say exiled, but no, it was a choice. So in Oakland, where we don't ever really know who the closer is and we're not sure if it really matters, but hey, saves are saves. Trevor May has picked up a couple of saves just in the past few days, and it looks like maybe he is the 9th inning option there. Now, I say this only if you're looking for saves, because he's really not doing anything else. Well, he is, but it's not good. He's got a 5.52 ERA, a 1.64 whip, and a strikeout rate of 16%. Those numbers should all make you nervous, but hey, saves are saves. So again, you're strictly looking for somebody to help you boost in that category. Maybe you sell down. This is a guy who is a veteran, 33 years old. He's done this before. Maybe he figured things out as the year goes on. So I'm going to, with a little hesitation, say if you're looking for a closer, maybe Trevor May. I would take him at least over whoever it is going to be in Colorado these days. And if you didn't already watch my rookie and prospect report, you want to know who might be the next Ellie De La Cruz, somebody who you should stash right now in fantasy? Well, you can watch right here.